Hello students, in this video we'll discuss the effect of mutability or immutability of data types when they are passed as arguments to functions. You see, we know that some of the data types are immutable like int, string, tuple, etc., and some are mutable like lists and dictionaries. So when one of these data types is passed to a function as an argument, then we have to keep certain things in mind that we'll discuss now. First of all, to start with, we will see an example in which immutable type data is passed to a function as an argument. Look at this program. A function is created here, def fun I1 S1. Okay, so it takes as argument two variables I1 and S1, and what it does is it is changing both the arguments. I1 is set to value I1 plus 1, and S1 is set to uh, S1 concatenated plus 3 star strings. Okay, a string containing 3 star symbols. So this function is changing both the argument variables in it. Okay, now look at the main program. Here the main program begins. First we create a variable I with value 10, then we create a string s with the value hello, and then we print the values of these functions before the function call I and s. Obviously it is going to print before function call 10 hello, because 10 is the value for I and s is the value for hello is the value for s. After this we call this function fun. The name of the function is just fun. We call this function and pass these two arguments I and s into it, okay, as arguments. Now after this we again print the values, print after function call I and s. Okay, so by this we want to know what effect has the function left on these two variables. We want to know whether the function which is changing its arguments by increasing by 1 or concatenating with the string, does this have an effect on the variables which were passed as arguments in the main program. Okay, so that is why we are printing both the arguments values before the function call and after function call. So when we print it after function call, we again see the same values are printed. After function call also we see 10 and hello are printed. That means I1, although the function fun incremented the value of I1 by 1, and also it changed the string S1, but it did not cause any change in the variables in the main program which were passed to this function. So remember that whenever immutable type data is passed to a function, whatever the function does with the arguments, it does not affect the variables which were actually passed to that function. Okay, so remember this point. Now after this we look at another example in which mutable type data is passed as arguments. Now this time, because in the previous example we passed in an integer and a string as arguments, and both of which are immutable. Okay, so remember that immutable type data when passed to a function as arguments, and the function may change the argument variables it is receiving, but it does not cause any change in the actual variables which were passed as arguments. Okay, this is because these two variables I1 and S1, although they receive the values I and 10, but they are actually created new variables in the memory. Okay, so the changes are made in the new variables, not the original variables which were passed as arguments. After this, we look at the example in which mutable type data is passed as arguments. Okay, see, we know that lists are mutable type data. So what we are doing here is creating a list by name lst1 and another list by name lst2, and putting separate values in them in the main program. And again we have a function by name fun, which takes two lists as arguments in the variables l1 and l2. Okay, and again it makes some changes to l1 and l2. To L1, it is changing the in first item at index 0 from 5 to 10. Okay, see, LST1 has first item as 5, but the argument uh, variable L1, which receives LST1, it changed by the function such that the first item becomes 10 instead of 5. And as for L2, in which LST2 will be passed, it is completely changed. L2 is assigned a completely new list with new elements, right? A new list is created and that is being assigned to L2. Now we see what effect does it cause on LST1 and LST2, which will be passed to this function. Right, see here in the main program, again we print the values of LST1 and LST2 before the function call. When we print the values before the function call, obviously 5, 6, 7 and 1, 2, 3, which are the original values of LST1 and LST2 respectively, are printed. But after function call, when LST1 is passed into L1 and LST2 is passed into L2, variables of the function fun, and function fun changes its argument values L1 and L2. Now let us see what effect does it cause on LST1 and LST2 in the main program. So when we print after the values of LST1 and LST2 after function call, what we see is that value of LST1 has changed. The first item has been changed from 5 to 10, which was done by the function, and but the second list LST2 remains completely unchanged. Okay, so you must remember two different behaviors here. LST1 is changed. Its first item was changed from 5 to 10, but LST2 was remaining has remained completely unaffected. Now let us see the reasons for this. See, both LST1 and LST2 are just lists which are mutable type data, and both of them are passed to function fun. But what happens with L1 is that a part of L1 is changed. Okay, and an item at a certain index is being changed. Right, see what happens when LST1 is passed into L1, then LST1 and L1 both point to the same list in the memory. Okay, no copy of the memory is not made. Right, it is not that L1's list 1's list is copied to make a new list for L1. L1 points to the same list as LST1 is pointing. Okay, so when L1 changes its argument, when L1 changes its item at index 0, then really what is happening is that this only item at this location of original list is being changed, right? But as for LST2 is concerned, what is happening is that L2 also becomes a new name for this list, just like L1 became a new name for LST1. L2 becomes another name for this list L1 to 3. All right, but when we created a new list 897 and assigned L2 this new list, then what happened that L2 lost its connection with this list. L2 has forgotten about this list and it has started to point to this list. Alright, so that leaves LST2 unaffected because LST2 was not changed. It was L2 which was made to point to a different list, right? So that leaves lst2 unaffected. If L2 also would have changed, made change something inside the list, then this list 1 2 3 would have been affected. But that did not happen. L2 was completely um, read completely delinked from this list 1 to 3 and assigned a link to this new list. Okay, so remember, when a list is passed as an argument, if changes are made inside the list, within the list, then the changes are going to be seen uh, in the actual list which was passed as argument. But if the argument is just reassigned another new list, then it is not going to affect the list passed as argument. Okay, so this explains why list 1 was changed from 5 to 10 and 567 to 1067, and why lst2 was not changed at all. Okay, so remember that when mutable type data is passed as argument, then the argument variable receiving that data actually becomes a pointer to the same data in memory. So whatever changes are made in the function are made actually to the same data which was passed from the main program. Okay, so keep in mind that. Right, now these are the important points which we summarize, which we have seen in these two examples. First is mutability or immutability of data type passed as arguments to functions plays important role. If the function called makes changes to the arguments, the data passed as arguments in the main program, it may be that the data was passed, the function was called from the main program or another function or from wherever. So from wherever point the function was called, the uh, from wherever point the function was called, the data will be changed if the data passed is of type mutable. Okay, if mutable data is passed and changes are made to it within the function, then original data which was uh, passed at the point of function called will be affected. And so which are mutable data? Lists and dictionaries mainly, you have to keep in mind. Next point is when immutable type data is passed as arguments to a function which may change the variables which received those arguments, it does not affect at all the data which was passed at the point of function call in the main program or any function from where the function was called. It does not cause any change to that point. Okay, the data does remain the same in case of immutable types. These 2 points must be remembered. Now we come to a situation when we really want the mutable type data to pass it in a function, but we still do not want any change to be made to it. Even if the function to which it is being passed does make some changes to its argument, the original data which is being passed should remain unchanged. So how can we do that? So the simplest idea is to create a copy of the data and pass that copy as an argument instead of passing the original data as the argument. Okay, as mentioned here, create a copy of the list. Suppose you are passing a list and you want it to remain unchanged in the main program even if the function is changing it. So what you should do is create a copy of the list and pass the copy to the function instead of passing the original list itself. Now the question arises, how do we create a copy of a list? For this we have the list function. Okay, what list function does, it takes an argument a list and creates a copy of that list. See, what we are doing here is lst1 is a list, and for passing to this function fun, we are creating a list of lst1 by using the list function, right? So what happens by this is that A list which is a copy of LST1, that means a new list is created in memory with the same values 567, but it is a copy, it is completely different from this original list LST1, and that copy is passed to function L1. Now even if this function changes makes changes inside this L1 list, it does not affect the original list because it was not passed as the argument at all. It was the copy which was passed, and the changes will be made to the copy. Okay, now we have another similar situation in which we want to change an immutable type data when it is passed to a function. Although it is immutable, we still want it to be changed. Okay, so how do we get this done? For this, what we do is make the changes in the function and then return the changed value. Okay, and we assign this return value to the original variable to which we want to change. For example, see, in this program we are creating a variable n is equal to 2, and we are printing its value before the function call. Obviously value 2 is being printed. Now we call this function fun and pass this argument n into this function. Now function fun is taking this variable n in uh, an argument variable n. So these two n are different, as you know from the scope rules. Okay, although they are having the same name n, these two are different. The variable n of a function fun is different from the variable n of the main program. These two remain at different parts of memory. So when function n makes changes to its argument variable n, it is multiplying it n by 2, but what it does is then return this variable n. Okay, it is returning this variable n, and what the main program is doing is that it is storing the return value of this function here. uh, it is storing the return value of this function into the original variable n only, which was passed as argument. Okay, so this, by this, what we are doing is that we got the return value from the function and then assigned this to um, the variable which we want to change. We are assigning it to n in the main program. So it is the main program which is actually making the change, not the function. Right, function is just providing a new value which we want, right, but the change is being made in the main program only. So when we print the value of n after the function call, we get 4. When we print the value of n after the function call, we get 4. Before the function it was 2. So this way you can change even an immutable type data with the help of a function. That's all about this tutorial. Thank you.